Right now, somewhere on a forum you can't reach with Google, there might be a login that opens your company's network, your VPN, your admin panel, and it could be on sale for less than the price of a dinner. Here's the uncomfortable part. If it's there, you probably wouldn't know, not because you're bad at your job, but because nobody ever taught that you how to look. Search dark web and you get the same article 1,000 times over. A spooky iceberg graphic. A warning to never go there. Great for a curious teenager, but useless for someone who actually runs infrastructure. So today we are doing the thing that almost nobody does. We are not going to explain what the dark web is. We're going to show you how Blue Team monitors it, how you watch for your company's leaked credentials, how you catch this traffic leaving your own network, and how you turn a scary alert into an actual plan. Let's make this simple. One quick note before we dig in. This channel is built for one specific person, the IT professionals, the sysadmin, the network engineer, the help desk lead, the cloud and infrastructure folks who already know how systems break and want to move into defending them. If that's you, this is going to click faster than you'd expect. Because most of what makes the dark web monitoring work isn't an exotic hacker magic. It's the network and endpoint fundamentals you already touch every day, just pointed to a new direction. Okay, three layers first. Fast because you need the vocabulary to monitor precisely. Picture the internet in three layers. The surface is everything that the search engine can index. News, sites, stores, blogs, anything you reach with a normal browser and no logging. Feels like the whole internet. It's a sliver. Below that is the deep web. Everything search engine can't index. Your email index, online banking, corporate intranets, private database, and here's what surprised people. You live in the deep web every single day, and there's nothing shared about it. It's just content behind the login. By most estimates, it's around 90% of the internet. And then, tucked inside the deep web, there is a small, deliberate hidden corner, the dark web. Roughly 6% or less, and honestly, nobody can measure it precisely. Here's the distinction that matters to a defender. The deep web keeps information private. A password guards your bank account. The dark web keeps identities anonymous, both the person visiting and the person hosting. Why do you care about the difference? Because your leaked data doesn't sit in one neat place. Stolen passwords might surface on clear web paste site. A ransomware crew might name your company on a publicly leaked blog. And the really valuable stuff gets traded in closed forums you will never accidentally wander into. Monitoring means knowing which layer each thread lives on, and knowing that none of them work like a Google search. Which brings us to the single biggest misconception we want to kill in this video. A lot of sharp IT people, the first time they worry about this, do the obvious thing. They open a browser, maybe fire up a Tor, search a forum for or two for the company name, find nothing, and think, okay, we are clean. That conclusion is worthless. And to see why, you need 30 seconds on how the dark web hides. On the normal internet, DNS works like a phone book. You type a name, it gets translated to an IP address, and your traffic routes there. Public, centralized, and easy to find. The dark web throws that away on purpose. When you request one of these hidden sites, your traffic gets wrapped in layers of encryptions, like an onion, and bounced through a random chain of volunteers' servers. The entry node sees who you are, but not where you are going. The middle node sees only the servers on their side of it. And the exit node sees the destination, but has no idea who you are. The addresses aren't registered with anyone. They are cryptographic strings ending in a .onion. No central directory, no index, no crawler. So when someone says, we searched at the dark web, we are fine, what they actually have done is a glance into one little corner of an enormous dark room and declare the whole thing is empty. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. It's just you are not seeing. So, if browsing around isn't monitoring, what is? Real dark web monitoring isn't going to the dark web. It's watching for specific signals for anything tied to your company. Signal 1. Exposed credentials. Breach dumps, combo lists, and the big one right now, InfoSteller's logs. That's malware that quietly harvests saved logins of an infected machine and ships them out of to be sold in a bulk. If an employee corporate password is sitting in one of those logs, that's a live key to your front door. Signal 2. Initial access for sale. There's a whole criminal specialty called initial access brokers. They do one job, getting a working foothold in a company, like a valid VPN credentials, exposed remote desktop, a live session, and sell it to whoever's deploying ransomware next. If your access shows up on the market, you are in a countdown and you don't even know the timer's running. Signal 3. Ransomware leak sites. Modern ransomware crews runs public name and shame blogs to pressure victims into paying. Seeing your company name or a vendor you depend on appear on one of those is often the earliest outside signal that something's already gone wrong. And signal 4, brand, domain, and executive mentions. Lookalike domains registered to impersonate you. Your executives' emails turning up into phishing kits. Shatter naming your company has a target. Notice what all four have in common. None of them are about dark web in general. Everyone is about your specific exposure. That's the whole mental shift, from doom scrolling the scary internet to monitoring a defined set of signals about you. Now, here's the part that plays directly to your background, and it's exactly why almost none of those generic dark web articles ever mention it. You don't only watch the dark web out there, you watch for it on your own network. Think about it. It means when a device inside your network reaches out the dark web. That's a red flag. It could be an insider. It could be a compromised machine quietly becoming to a command and control over Tor. Or it could be just someone breaking an acceptable use policy. All three matters, and you catch them with tools you already run. Starts with network traffic. The contents of Tor are encrypted, but the connection to known Tor entry nodes are breached and is detectable. Your firewall, your IDS, your network monitoring can flag it. Those nodes lists are public, specifically so defenders can use them. Then your endpoints. Use your EDR to alert whenever a Tor browser or a software like I2P gets installed or launched on a managed device. And that catches more than curious employers because malware bundles Tor clients to hide its own traffic. And your DNS logs can give you an early tell. Lookups tied to Tor directory services or gateways before a full connection even completes. For most companies, blocking connections to known Tor nodes at firewall is just standard practice. But detection comes first, because beaconing compromised endpoint is a completely different emergency than someone testing a browser at lunch. Same signal, two very different responses. Knowing the difference is the job. And if this is the kind of thing you want more of, one practical, no-hype breakdown for IT professionals moving into defense every week, that's exactly what our newsletter, Keep It Safe, is for. It's free, the link is in the description, and it's easiest way to keep this momentum going after the video ends. Okay, honest questions you are probably asking. Can you just do all this yourself? Partially. And knowing exactly where partially runs out of the real skill. Manual checks are totally fine for the visible layer. Spot checking a non-passed site, watching a handful of public ransomware blogs, running your own domains through a repeatable exposure checking control. That's real work, and you should do it. But manual checks fall apart the moment the valuable data moves where it actually lives. Closed, invite-only forums, and reputation-gated channels you simply can't get into without an established persona and month of staging. So concluding, we are clean because one public board came up empty. That's like glancing at your own front yard and declaring the whole city crime-free. You're not wrong on the purpose. You just can't see most of the map. That's the gap professional services fill. Automated collection across thousands of sources. Real human intelligence inside those closed communities. And correlation against your specific domains and people to cut the noise. We are not here to sell you a vendor. The point is simpler. Know what you can see yourself and never mistake a quiet corner for a quiet internet. So let's say your monitoring works, An alert fires, your data is out there, now what?
He's on the red
Finding
line.
it's only half of the job. The other half is deciding what to do without panicking and without just worrying about the dark web as a permanent state of mind. That's a repeatable process. At the Blue Team Academy, we run it through 4 steps: inventory, threads, controls, and scale. Let's walk a real scenario. You're monitoring flags an initial access broker selling valid VPN credentials for one of your employees. Step 1: Inventory. What exactly is exposed? Whose account is it? And what does it reach? Is it privileged? What already protects it? Is a multi-factor authentication enforced on that VPN, or is it just a password? You can't scope a response to an asset you haven't mapped. Step 2: Threads. Name it precisely. This is a valid account abuse, the on-ramp to a lateral movement and ransomware. And you prioritize by blast radius. An administrator's credentials are a 5-alarm fire. A contractor's read-only logging is a very different level of worry. Step 3: Controls. Map the thread to specific actions. Immediately force a password reset and kill the active VPN sessions. To stop the repeat, enforce multi-factor authentication on every external entry point and add conditional access so logins from an unexpected place get blocked. To cap that next one, tune your SIM to alert on the weird stuff: impossible travel, odd hours, a login from a country you have never seen. Step 4: Scale. This is the one people skip. You don't fix that one account and walk away. You take that sample loop, watch, detect, respond, and apply it across every external access point, every executive inbox, every domain you're on. One leaked credential is a data point. The system that catches the next 1,000, that's the actual deliverable. That's right there, turning an anonymous marketplace listing in a scoped, prioritized, defensible plan. That's the difference between worrying about the dark web and using it. That's what a blue team actually does. And if you want to learn that whole decision process end to end, the exact method a working defender uses, talk that for people coming from IT. That's what our training at Blue Team Academy is built to do. There's a link in the description if you want to go deeper. No pressure, no countdown timer. It will be there whenever you are ready. Let's land this with one thing we most want you to take away. The hard part here was never the Tor trivia. Anybody can memorize an iceberg diagram. The blue team job is the decision loop, taking a raw, alarming signal and turning into: here's what's exposed, here's the threat, here's the control, and here's how we escalate it. And if you already run infrastructure, that thinking is closer to what you do every day and you have been led to believe. You are not starting from zero. Your experience isn't a gap to apologize for. It's the head to start. If this was useful, follow Blue Team Academy. That's the whole ask. We put out this kind of breakdown regularly, and the next one builds right on this. Because at the end of the day, Cybersecurity is not rocket science. It's a method, and you are already halfway to it. See you in the next one.